So I don't have the energy right now to do anything but film this sitting down in a chair like this. So remember I said when I got back from the trip, the hiking stick or the walking stick that I had gotten on the trip was not there, right? I checked it with baggage. Just my bag was there, but the walking stick was not. And that night I got a call back from Oregon saying that they had it there and they were going to put it on the next train out. And they told me that it would be there in 48 hours, which would be today. So I went at the time they said it would be there, and it wasn't there. But it was a long day. It was a long day. Okay, I left the apartment and I went to throw out the garbage. So I went out the alley, and some guy, some Eastern European looking guy, turned around, drove by in his Tesla, and stalled right in front of my apartment building. And you know, it's when you're a target, you're gonna wonder. You're gonna wonder what's going on. Like everything weird that happens, you have to wonder, is that something, right? But I walked on. I got to the train station and I got there early, so I waited about an hour, and yeah, it wasn't there. I told the guy behind the counter of baggage, and he looked for me. He was confused too. He didn't know what was going on. He said I should call these guys back, whoever called me, to let me know that they were going to put it on the train. So I did, and of course they didn't answer. It went right into voicemail. Now it's weird because the day that I got home and it wasn't there, I got a call in the evening from some woman in Oregon saying they had found it, right? And she said I should call the guy the next day I should call the same number that she called me from the next day, because he works in baggage there, and he would make sure to put it on the next train. So I did, and he said he would. But the weird thing is, that was in Oregon, but the number was from Philadelphia. So it was a little weird. I don't know. Anyway, so by the time I leave the train station today, I'm pissed off. I'm really fucking pissed off. It almost seems like it's a psyop. Like, this is the shit that targets have to go through. They will fuck with you in every conceivable way, just to fuck up your life, make you miserable, one thing after another, pushing you to the breaking point until you snap. And then they complain and play the victim and condemn you for snapping, which is exactly what they want. So I'm leaving. At that point, I'm angry. I don't want to deal with people on public transportation, so I call an Uber. Now the train station is kind of confusing. Like there are different like addresses for the same location. So I put in the specific address that I was at. Like it was around the corner. I mean, in front of it was the main address for the train station. But I noticed the guy, he stops around the corner. So I texted him through the app, let him know exactly where I was. He didn't respond to the text. I called him, and he sounded confused. But eventually, he did come around. Okay, he drove up to where I was, and then right past me, even though I told him the street and the cross street. Meanwhile, there was a woman there who was, I started screaming. I'm like, hey, I screamed at the car. There was a woman there who's like, hey, she's like, hey, what's wrong? What are you trying to do? What are you looking for? And I pointed the car and I say, that's what I'm looking for. There was another guy there who said, oh, he probably has to go around the block, whatever. Okay, so another car pulls up and the woman starts saying, hey, that's the guy. I look and it's not the same car. And there was a man standing there, the other man standing there saying, no, that's not the same. And the woman told me not to listen to him. So I take another look. I'm like, is that the guy? So I almost walk up to the car because I listened to her. Turns out it's not. Right, so my driver, he finally comes around, he comes back. He parks in a weird spot, so I didn't see him initially. And the guy that was standing there had said, hey, there's your car. And the woman again said, no, don't listen to him, that's not. Well, it was my car. So I thanked the man, I thanked the guy, and then I went out to the car. I crossed the street, whatever. He was in a weird location. He came down a weird side street. I don't know what he did, but That's not where he was. No one would expect him to be there. But okay, fine. I get in. He turns out onto the main street. Some fucking guy comes walking toward the car where I'm sitting, right by the window, holds up his camera right to me, and is laughing as he looks at me. That's when I knew it was a fucking setup. All of this was being set up. And my instinct was to get out of that fucking car and beat him bloody. Just bash him fucking bloody. You know, it's all a fucking setup. This is what targets have to go through. It's one crazy hassle after another. They fuck with you in every way they can. And I was thinking how much worse it's going to be when society breaks down, like if there are no cops. For most people, it will be worse. Will the targeting increase? Yes. But at the same time, it might actually be better for targets, because then we can actually fight back. Like right now, the perpetrators can get away with all of this sick shit, and legally we can't do much. Right? We so much as look angry, and we're the bad guys. But when the law breaks down, we'll actually be able to fight back. You know, these perpetrators are pathetic fucking cowards. They gather in groups against lone easy targets that they don't believe can fight back. Like, maybe they are lied to about the targets, but so what? So what? They don't believe the targets are an actual threat, because if they did, they would be afraid of the consequences of doing what they're doing to us. But they just laugh. Which shows me that they know that they're not going after a real threat. They don't believe they're going after a real threat. They might work themselves all up over the target because they need to justify what they're doing to the target, but they don't really believe we're a real threat because these pathetic cowards have us outnumbered, outgeared, and out-resourced. It's a coward's war, right? What they won't do is fight the actual real threat. They're too pathetic and cowardly for that. It's like the ICE agents, right? They go after women and children. They handcuff little girls. They take women and their children away. A pregnant woman just had a stillbirth in one of the ICE detention camps, right? Or they go to men and they take them away from work. They don't go after the real threat. Like if occasionally they get a real violent criminal and all of that, great. But the truth is they don't. But they take people with no due process, so they can accuse you of something, take you, and you can't even defend yourself. You know, the one thing they won't do is go into those gang-ridden areas and take the gang members because they're too pathetic, fucking cowardly to do that. So they take women and children and men who were literally working legal jobs, people who are not going to fight back. And then these pathetic cowards, these agents, puff up their chests as if they've done something heroic. Again, it's a coward's war, and the perpetrators are just like that. Two sides of the same filthy, rotting coin. So that was my day. Oh, except for one thing. So when I was sitting, waiting for, for the train to come in, so I can get my, what I hoped would be so I could get my, my hiking stick. I was sitting on a bench, and the bench is like, it's two-sided, so you can sit back to back with someone. There was this guy, he was white, sitting in back of me, and then there was this woman who came and sat next to me, and she started talking to me, asking me why I was there, what I was doing, things like that. And I told her exactly what was happening. As soon as I was done, she got up and walked away, and then a few minutes later, the guy got up and walked away, and he walked towards the baggage area. Yeah. Then he came back a few minutes later and gave the necessary cough under his breath. You always got to wonder, are they involved? So that's what happened today.